Hi, this is Miss Darty, and I am going to show you what some of the tools are that are available for you to use in the Gale databases. Almost all the Gale databases will have the same set of tools. The in-context ones definitely do. So I'm in opposing viewpoints in context right now, and I'm actually looking at an article about fake news. And when I typed it into the search box, it came up with fake news all in red because it's highlighting it for me to let me see how frequently the term shows up, which can be very useful. And now that I'm in here, there are certain things that I can do within this article. I can listen to it.
Fake news fools millions. Illustration omitted. Made up stories spread on social media.
So what you see is it actually highlights words as it reads, and it does have that computery voice, but that some students may find this helpful. So that's one feature that's available within the articles and the documents themselves. Some other ones are, I'm going to skip citation tools for now because that's in another lesson, but if you found an article you want to email to yourself, you can email it. You would put your own email in the sender email and in the to email, so you'd have your own email in there both times. And when you email it to yourself, you will find that it comes into your email as a full article with the citation and everything that you need and a link back to the source. You can also download articles. When you download them to Google Drive. You click download. If you're already logged into your Google Drive, it'll just put it right in there for you. If you're not, it will prompt you to log into your Google Drive. And let me just show you where it would go. If I go back to my Google Drive, you'll see this folder, Opposing Viewpoints in Context. When I double click it, there's the article right there. And then I can go into my Google document and actually, I could read it, highlight it, mark it up. You want to make sure if you do that, you keep track of your own notes versus the original information. But that's a useful feature for you to have so you can have all your articles back in your Google Drive. Oops, wrong place. So I'm actually want to go back here. Okay, so the other thing you can do is print from here. I'm going to skip highlights and notes for now. You can save an article, and I'll explain where that is in a minute. You can also share it. You probably won't want to do that, but you could if you wanted to. You can also translate it to another language and back again. Okay, so those are some of the tools that are there for you within the article themselves. There's also related subjects here, but that's a little different from the article tools. Now I saved this article. I want to show you where to find it and what that means by saving it, because you're not logged into this database. Um, if you go up here, you have an advanced toolbar, which we will go into in another lesson. Bookmark, which will give you a link to come back to this page if you wanted to use that, but you won't necessarily really need that because you can email the article to yourself and save it in some other ways. But I'll show you the way that might be useful in a minute. If you click more right here, you have some other tools to work with. One is highlights and notes. And if you click on that, you actually don't have any highlighted articles yet. But in this article, if I highlight it, you'll get a little menu that'll pop up, and you can highlight parts of the article. You can also add little notes to it. So I want to type a note about what I just highlighted and then save that. Now if I go back up to my more and I go to highlights and notes, you'll see this particular article has some highlights and notes in it. And you would be able to download those notes to your Google Drive as well. Okay, I'm going to cancel that. So now I'm actually going to go back to my article again and click on more one last time. Oh, the search history, this shows me anything I've searched for while I was in this session. A session is the time you open the database to the time you close it. So I had searched for fake news in opposing viewpoints in context. And earlier I was doing a demonstration on this and I searched for this topic, LGBT rights and state laws. So if you got lost and you forgot what your search was and you found a bunch of great results, it's good to know that you have this search history to go back to. I'm going to go back to this. This was my basic search earlier and I found several articles. And this is where the bookmark comes in handy. If I want to bookmark this page with all these results, I can click bookmark here, and then I can select all that, copy it, and paste it into a Google Doc, put it in a Noodle Tools note. There's different things you can do with that, but you could email it to yourself, but that will take you right back to this page, so you'll have all those results in one place again. So that's what the bookmark tool is very useful for. And then finally, the dictionary. I'm going to go ahead and open up another article, open this article up again. And the dictionary would allow you to look up a word. So if you, for example, came across a word here like, I don't know, I don't see any here that too many that you might not know, but if you didn't know the word, distinguish, you could actually, here I could highlight it. Maybe as a word I'm not familiar with, but I could also go into the dictionary. I'll have to type the word distinguish in here. Distinguish. And search for it, and it'll give me a definition. And you could hear the word pronounced, hear the definition.
Distinguish
Okay.
/
So those are the main tools. There's also a help button here. The help button will just take you to a page. It gives you some tips about doing research, some tips about using the actual database itself, how to work with search results and things like that. I almost forgot to show you the saved folder. That was the last thing I wanted to make sure I showed you. So I want to go back and just put a few more things in it. So I have my fake news article, and I'm searching for that right now. My fake news search, rather. And so if you go along and you're looking through some search results, you're not really sure what you might want, but you see some things that look interesting. So I'm going to go into magazines. And sometimes you don't want to open up every article and look at it. You just want to preview them. So I already saved that one. Grandmasters of Fake News looks interesting. Fake news, bogus tweets raise stakes for media literacy. And why social media offers a massive collection. Okay, so I'm only going to save a few just to show you. So now if I go back up here to more, and in the folder, my folder, there are 4 saved articles now. So earlier there was just 1. So now you see I have all these articles I've saved. You could then go through and look at each one individually and decide whether or not you could preview it and decide whether or not it's useful to you. Maybe you looked at this one, it looked a little difficult. This is an advanced level. You can just check it and then you can remove selected. If you decided you wanted those 3, you could actually download them all at once. Oh, excuse me, you have to actually check them all first. Then you could download them all at once to your Google Drive. So instead of doing articles one at a time, you could go along and save articles to a temporary folder in here and then download them all at once when you finish to Google Drive at the end. That's actually a good use of your time. So those are all the tools I really wanted to show you. So good luck.